I recently have been shown a way to communicate with my family that has crossed over. I don't talk to other beings that have crossed over. I used to channel people's ancestors and spirit guides, and what ended up happening then is I was pulling beings from the astral realm. There was like a line of beings trying to talk to me, so I stopped doing that for a while. But I wanted to get more into the process of crossing over. If this is something that interests you and you're open-minded and can perceive this in a non-judgmental way, then I would recommend staying. But if you are really determined in your belief systems and what you think happens, then maybe don't listen. Okay, so that's my guidance here. So this is some of my ancestors, family members, as well as some of my pets. And this was the information I got from them through their process. It's generalized just to kind of help people perceive this, and then how we can help people cross over more holistically, including animals, and make the process smoother. Right now, there's a lot of beings in this limbo state, and most of them are there because of some sort of stagnation in the physical life. Okay, some could have the ice energy connected to their soul essence, the inverted source energy. It's that dark black tar energy. I did a lot of work with helping people clear that the last couple years. So you can actually go in there and help people clear. I don't recommend doing that if you don't know what you're doing, though. Okay. But so what we're looking at is people's transition and how we can help them move on more peacefully. Okay, and this is actually really important. It's important for everyone that's alive, because we're all going to go through that process at some point. Okay, so there can be a phase where beings get stuck, and I asked if it was the astral, and they said they don't want me to get stuck on titles, and that's probably because there's a lot of different ways to interpret the dimensions and realms that people go into. Because of that, it would close off resonance and understanding. So it can happen. So if somebody passes suddenly, or they're clinging to material possessions, material life, anger, resentment, fear, if there's any confusion. And so this isn't really about punishment. It's more about orientation. Like the soul hasn't fully surrendered to the process of moving on after. Okay. People don't go to this corrupted realm out of punishment. It's about soul. The soul could be fractured. There could be the ice energy there, fear or attachments, essentially. Okay. You could see it as the astral realm, but like I said, I was told not to name that specifically, but it could be fourth density astral realm. Okay, that's my teachings. That's where it would be. But it's best to be showed simply. It's an in-between space until the soul finds resonance again. Okay. A lot of times they have a lot of help on the other side. There's a lot of humans that actually help people with this process as well as they're crossing over. Okay. Resolution comes when the soul gathers light, releases entanglements, and aligns with sincerity of heart. Then moving forward is natural, like dawn breaking. So once the soul kind of finds peace within themselves, they're able to move on to the next realm. Okay. Souls don't all graduate to the same place. They rise into the octave that matches their light and readiness. It's a spectrum of higher fields, not one destination. So just like we look at the multidimensional field here, we can work on all density levels in our physical body. As you elevate in your physical reality and you activate the higher resonance, you anchor the higher resonance, that is where you will be moving to in the octave after you pass on. So that your work here in the physical body is not just for your physical reality. It's not just for manifestation or making money or being healthy. It's about what happens at a soul level, spiritual level, after you cross over. Okay, and this is the only thing that actually dies is the physical body, and it's just a dissolution of that reality structure, and then you move into a higher octave once you've graduated from that plane. If you have lived a quality, high resonant life, okay, full of generosity and love, compassion and growth, okay. For instance, you could have incarnated here as an 8th density being, and you do the work. You could evolve to be a 10th, 11th, or 12th density being, so that when you pass and cross over, you can elevate into the fields of 10th, 11th, or 12th density and live in that resonance on the other side. Okay, so it's kind of like you could consider it heaven, but it's different levels of that. Okay, the heavenly realm I consider 9th density. That's probably where most people go to for rehabilitation, healing, and learning. But you can move on from there. And within those densities, there's other dimensions as well. Okay, so it's a lot more complex than we have been told through organized religion, at least. And I did want to talk about animals and pets here because they're a lot different. Their spirits are pure and unentangled, so they dissolve easily back into unity and love. Their bond with us lets them visit even as their essence rests in source. So after people have crossed over out of the liminal, then they can move in and out of densities more easily. And the higher the resonance, the more they can travel and move and help people. So there is a graduation into spirit guide, angelic resonance, celestial beings, etc., creators. There's all sorts of frameworks to move into that your role will actually expand. You continue evolving and growing. That there is really no end to this, okay? So animals go, once they pass away, they go directly to a source field, a pure resonance of peace and love, okay? They can get stuck. Crossing over can be harder for them if they are not honored and respected during that process, okay? So if they are abandoned or neglected when they are passing away, it can be harder on them physically, emotionally, and mentally, and it can take some time in the higher fields for them to fully regenerate, and especially pets, because they are unconditionally loving and giving throughout their entire life to their humans, and so they get very, very attached to us. And it's important for us to respect that process as they cross over, okay? And so the next octave for both humans and animals, they enter abundance. It's a flowering of their soul's essence. From there comes renewal, reunion, rest, or preparation for the next form of growth, okay? Healing and elevation in life matter deeply. Every step of coherence here shapes how high the soul rises later. Our lights become the current that carries us home. Now, when humans are crossing over, it's also very important for us to do the work to help them move forward in peace, to help them to come to understanding, love, and surround them with light and joy and peace, okay? So respect for the life, the way you live, as well as the crossing over process. I feel like most people just see it as it's done there, but that's the beginning of a new life for them, okay? And because of that, our respect and love should be poured into that process, even continually, for as long as needed, until we feel that they have come to a state of peace. Okay, sending you so much love.